think there's so much noise. So if I slip up on my words, just overlook it or overhear me or something. I'm really looking forward to seeing you. Your postcard came. I was going to reply, but I've been too distracted really to write down anything at all. And if I do, I keep looking at the dictionary. It's funny, it's like I can't write with my own words, just keep getting caught up in other people's, or even the thesaurus. Does that count as other people? Anyway, so I thought I use my own voice. And here I am. I got your voicemail, which is alright. It kind of makes it easier if I'm not getting caught up in your response and I can just talk to you and voice you. I really love you, Lane. I love you to pieces. Thank you for writing to me. I feel like I've been going crazy lately. And I love that little line of Eliot that you wrote down. It's funny because I think I'm beginning to look down on all poets except Sappho. I've been reading her like mad. Maybe I'll do my out-of-term thing on her. Delicate Adonis is dying, Sapphira. What shall we do? Beat your breasts, maidens, and rend your tunics. Isn't that marvelous? And she keeps doing that too. I hope you still love me, Lane. Even when You're not just being hopelessly super male and reticent, are you? You know, I'm constitutionally against strong silent men. Silent about feelings, I mean. You know what I mean. So here I am, with my voice. Anyway, I can hardly hear myself think anymore. I love you and I love you. I love you, I love you. I'll hang up before I get hopelessly self-conscious. I really cannot wait to see you on Saturday. And hopefully I won't be sounding so unintelligent as I do right now. And well, you can analyze me in person. And I promise I won't analyze everything to death for once, including myself, so we can have a really marvelous time. So, till Saturday, my flower.
Oh, there's just something.
How was the gym?
It was good. I knew 3 girls in that train. I met them years ago. Friends of school friends. It was really strange seeing them. They all look exactly how I imagined they would look like. You know, like grown up and all. They probably go Leeds or Edinburgh or something. It's funny, they all look like such a type. Maybe I always think of the girls look like such a type. I bet they probably thought I looked like such a type.
Sorry I didn't pick up from King's Cross. I would have wanted to.
No, don't worry. It's nice to be back in London. I don't need you to pick me up or anything.
We can drop your bag off at mine and get some lunch.
Yeah.
Starving.
Let's go and eat. I don't mind carrying.
It's so nice to see you.
I've missed you. And London. I've missed the pigeons, the people, and the smell. It's really nice to be back in London, actually.
I mean, to put it crudely, the thing you could say he lacks is testicularity. You know what I mean? Masculinity.
I heard you the first time.
Anyway, that was the motif of the thing, so to speak. What I was trying to bring out in a fairly subtle way. I mean, God, I honestly thought I'd made myself a total goddamn Sisyphus. When I got it back with this goddamn high 2-1, I swear I nearly knocked myself out.
Why?
Why what?
Why would you think you're a goddamn Sisyphus or whatever?
I just told you, I just got through saying. This guy, Pesmian, is a big Flaubert type. Or at least I thought he was.
This place is nice, by the way. It's nice and busy.
Anyway, I've got the goddamn essay on my laptop at home. We'll have time tomorrow, I can read it to you.
Cool, yeah, I'd love to read it.
I mean, I didn't say anything too goddamn world-shaking. I'm no Freudian man or anything like that, but certain things you can't just pass over as capital F Freudian and let them go at that. I mean, to a certain extent, I think I was perfectly justified to point out that none of the really good boys, Tolstoy, Dostoevsky, Shakespeare, for Christ's sake, were such goddamn word squeezers. They just wrote. You know what I mean?
Do you want a cigarette?
Not right now. Do you want one?
Yeah, I'll want one.
This guy Pesmian thinks I should publish the goddamn essay somewhere. I don't know though. I mean, critical essays on Flaubert and those guys are goddamn pulp. Everyone writes that shit. Actually, I don't think any really incisive jobs have been done on him in the last...
You're talking like a section man.
Excuse me?
You're talking exactly like a section man. I'm sorry, but you are. You really are.
I am. And how does a section man talk, may I ask?
Well, I don't know if you have them at your university, but where I go, right, a section man's this person that takes over a class when a professor isn't there, or is busy having a nervous breakdown, or is at the dentist or something. He's usually a graduate student. If it's a course in 19th century Russian literature, say, he walks in his little collared shirt and his little tortoiseshell glasses and starts knocking Turgenev for about half an hour. And then, when he's finished, when he's completely ruined Turgenev for you, he starts on Sadal or someone that he did his MA dissertation on. Like where I go, we have about 10 little sections men running about the department ruining things for people. I mean, they're all so brilliant they can hardly open their mouths, excuse the contradiction. But yeah, and if you get into an argument with one of them, all they do is get this terribly benign expression on
This
that.
goddamn weird mood on today. You know that?
I'm sorry, I'm
What's the matter with you anyway?
I'm sorry, it's just, I've been feeling so destructive the whole week.
Your voicemail didn't sound so goddamn destructive.
Yeah, I had to strain to call you back.
You want something straight?
No. Yeah, I don't know.
Which is it?
Yes, I'll have a gin and tonic.
2, please.
I'm feeling so lousy today. I'm so off. I'll snap out of this in a minute, I absolutely promise. It's just, if it wasn't so late and everything, and if I hadn't decided like a fool to apply for this master's, I think I'd change degree. I don't know. It's just all the most incredible farce, you know?
Brilliant. That's really brilliant.
I'm sorry.
Stop saying you're sorry, do you mind? I don't suppose it's occurred to you, but you're making one hell of a sweeping generalisation. If everyone at uni were all such great little terror downers, it would be an altogether different... I mean, goddamn, there are incompetent people in all walks of life. I mean, that's basic. Are you listening to me or what?
Yes.
I mean, you've got 2 of the best men in Europe in your goddamn department, Manlius and Esposito. God, I wish we had them here. At least they're actual poets, for Christ's sake.
They're not poets. That's partly what's so awful. They're not real poets. They're just people that write poetry, get published, get anthologized, but they're not real poets, for Christ's sake. Can we just let it go? I'm feeling lousy and I'll ruin the whole weekend, okay?
I'd be very happy to drop the whole subject. I'd be delighted. I mean, do you have to be a goddamn bohemian type or dead, for Christ's sake, to be a real poet? What, some bastard with wavy hair.
No, can we just let it go, please? I know this much is all. If you're a poet, you do something beautiful. All the ones that you're talking about, they don't leave a single solitary thing beautiful. I mean, even the slightly better ones, the best they do is kind of get inside your head and leave something there. But just because they do, just because they know how to leave something, it doesn't have to be a poem, for heaven's sake. It could be just some terribly awful collection of syntax droppings, excuse the expression. Like Manlius and Esposito and all those poor men.
I thought you liked Manlius. As a matter of fact, about a month ago, if I remember correctly, you thought he was darling. And that you...
I do like him, I'm just sick of liking people. I wish to God there was someone I could meet that I could respect, you know? Anyway, would you excuse me for a minute?
What, is everything alright?
Yeah, I'll be back in a second.
Sincerely, oh yes, sincerely, 'cause I love you so dearly. Please say you'll be mine. Sincerely, oh, you know how I love you. I'll do anything for you. Please say you'll be mine.
God, I'm sorry, did you think I died?
I didn't think you'd died. I didn't know what the hell happened. We haven't got too goddamn much time. You alright? Your eyes are a little bloodshot. You okay or what?
No, I'm marvellous now. I just never felt so fantastically rocky in my entire life. Did you order a bite?
I waited for you. What was the matter with it anyway? Your stomach?
Yeah. Yes and no, I don't know. I just don't want to eat, okay? I'm not hungry at all.
This is going to be a real little dream of a weekend. I'm not hungry, for God's sake. We're supposed to be up at Tenbridge at 10:15 and 10:30. I told Wally we'd probably stop off for a drink and then maybe all go out together from his. You mind? You like Wally?
I don't even know him.
You've met him about 20 times, for God's sake. Wally Campbell. Jesus, you've met him once, you've met him 1,000 times.
Yeah, I remember. Listen, don't hate me just because I can't remember some person immediately. Especially when it's Wally Campbell. I mean, I feel like for the past 4 solid years, I keep seeing Wally Campbells wherever I go. I know exactly when they're gonna start telling me some nasty gossip about the girl I live with. I know when he's gonna ask me about my summer plans. I know when he's gonna pull up a chair, straddle it backwards, and start bragging in a terribly, terribly quiet voice, or name-dropping in this terribly quiet, casual voice. There's this unwritten rule that if you're from some special social or financial bracket, you can name-drop as much as you like. So long as you say something terribly disparaging about the person, that he's a bastard or a nymphomaniac or that he smokes weed all the time or something horrible. I mean, it's not just Wally. I'm picking on Wally because you mentioned him. And also he does look like someone that spent the summer in Oman or someplace.
He spent the last summer in Portugal, for your information. I know what you mean, but you're being goddamn
Alright, Portugal. I mean, it doesn't have to be Wally Campbell for Christ's sake. It could be a girl. I mean, if it was a girl from my course, she'd spent the summer painting scenery in a law firm, you know? Or bicycled through France, or rented an apartment in Berlin and worked for a magazine or a startup, you know? It's everybody. Everything everybody does is so... It's not even necessarily stupid. It's just so tiny and meaningless and sad-making. And the worst part is, even if you become one of those queer political people, you're just confirming, just in a different way.
You're pale as hell. You're really pale, you know that.
I'm sorry, I'll be fine in a minute, just I'll be fine.
How's the play?
I don't know, I'm not in it. I quit.
You quit? I thought the theatre was your goddamn passion.
I just quit, that's all. It started embarrassing me. I started to feel like such a nasty little egomaniac. I mean, it's all ridiculous wanting to act in the first place, you know? Oh, I just hated myself. It was just all so cheap. And no one had enough talent, especially for the plays I was in.
Jesus.
Alright, okay, Lane.
You've been talking for a half hour as though you're the only person with any goddamn sense, any critical ability.
You can be a great actor and all.
Maybe you're wrong. Has that ever occurred to you?
You can be a great actor and all, but to do those lines, you have to be a bloody genius, okay? That's all. God, I feel so funny and woozy. God, I think I'm going mad.
You think you're a genius?
It's not. Stop it, Lane. That's not how I mean it.
I'm not doing anything.
All I know is I'm losing my mind. I'm just sick of ego. My own and everybody else's. I'm sick of everyone that wants to get somewhere and do something distinguished. Be someone interesting. It's disgusting. It is. I don't care what anyone says.
You sure you're not just afraid of competing? I mean, I don't know too much about it.
I'm not afraid of competing. It's just the opposite. Don't you see that? I'm afraid I will compete. That's what scares me. That's why I quit the theatre department. Just because I'm so horribly conditioned to accept everybody else's values. Just because, yes, I do like applause, and yes, I do like people to rave about me. It doesn't make it right. I'm ashamed of it. I'm sick of it. I'm ashamed of not having the courage to be an absolute nobody. I'm ashamed of myself and everyone that wants to make some kind of a big splash.
Use this a second.
Good, do I need it?
You're sweating. Not sweating,
God.
but your forehead's perspiring.
Oh, I've got some Kleenex here.
What's the difference? Just use my handkerchief.
Oh, I don't want to get all perspiry. Yeah.
What's the book?
This? Oh, just something. You know, I just wanted to have something to read on the train. It's just something my professor mentioned in class.
Who wrote it?
I don't know. It's this Russian peasant, and it's kind of set in the 1800s.
Is it any good? What's it about?
I mean, it's peculiar. It's primarily a religious book. I mean, you could say it's terribly fanatical in a way, but in a way it isn't. It's just about this peasant, the pilgrim, who wants to find out what it means when it says in the Bible that you should pray incessantly, you know, without stopping. So he basically goes all over Russia trying to find some person that can explain to him how to pray incessantly and what you should say when you do. Eventually, he meets this person, a starret, who is this terribly advanced religious person, who tells him about this book called the Philokilia. It's written apparently by the series of advanced monks that have this really incredible way of praying, and the pilgrim, he tries to perfect it, and then he kind of goes all over Russia, meeting all these marvelous people, teaching them this incredible method of praying. That's the whole book. He just teaches people how to pray.
I hope to God we'll get some time this weekend so you can take a quick look at this goddamn paper I was telling you about. I don't know, I may not do a damn thing with it, but, you know, try to publish it, what have you, but I'd like you to take a glance over it at some point while you're here.
Yeah, sure. But you should read this book.
Sounds interesting.
Do you want me to tell you about this prayer?
Sure.
So basically, the starets say that first of all you have to start with the Jesus Christ prayer, you know? Lord Jesus Christ, have mercy on me. Then all you have to do is just keep saying it over and over again. You can even mouth it the first time, you know? I'm not sure what it is, but something incredible happens. It's like the person's heartbeat becomes synchronized with the words. It's really incredible. It has this terribly mystical effect on you. And the marvelous thing is, you don't even have to have faith in what you're saying. It changes your whole outlook. You just have to keep going at it, you know? It's quantity at first, and then it becomes quality by itself. All you have to do is kind of say the name of God, any name of God at all, and it takes this self-active power of its own, you know? All you do is kind of start it up, and then it goes. Like, as a matter of fact, I think that it makes absolute sense. I mean, in Nabutsu, this sect of Buddhism, they tell you that if you just repeat Namo Abhida Butsu, which means like praises to the Buddha, the same thing happens. I mean, the same result, the same thing.
Easy, take it easy. You're gonna burn your fingers any second.
Even the same thing happens in the cloud of unknowing. I just think it's so terribly fascinating. Have you heard anything so terribly fascinating in your entire life? Come on, you can't put it down to this peculiar coincidence. The same result. What's the matter?
You actually believe in that stuff or what?
I didn't say whether I believed it or didn't believe it. I just think it's terribly fascinating that all these persons are giving you the same advice about praying incessantly, and the same result happens, the same thing does.
What is the result?
What?
I mean, what is the result that's supposed to follow?
You get to see God. Something happens in this non-physical part of your heart and you just see God. You don't even have to know who He is or what He's like. I mean, don't ask me, I'm not saying I believe in God. You just get to see Him.
You want another coffee or another drink?
I'm fine, you can have some.
Gosh, we better have time. We'll be lucky if we get to Wally's on time. Look, it's very interesting stuff anyway. I don't think you leave any space for the most elementary psychology. All these religious experiences, they have a very obvious psychological background.
Lane, would you excuse me a minute?
You alright? You feeling sick again or what?
Just funny. I'll be back in a minute.
Hey, how are you? Feeling any better?
What am I supposed to say? Where am I?
Everyone's running around looking for spirits of ammonia and doctors and things to bring you. How are you feeling? No kidding.
Fine. Stupid but fine. Did I honestly faint?
And how? You really conked out. What's the matter with you anyway? I thought you were feeling good recently.
It's embarrassing. Did someone have to carry me out?
The bartender and I were sort of hoisted you. You really scared the hell out of me, I'm not kidding.
What time is it?
Don't worry, we're in no hurry.
You wanted to go to Wadi Campus.
To hell with it.
And the party?
Listen, I said to hell with it. You're going to go back to mine, you're going to get some rest. That's the most important thing. You're just going to rest tonight. That's all you're going to do. You know how long it's been? When was that Friday night? Way the hell early last month. That's no good. Too goddamn long between drinks to put it past it. You really feel better?
Just terribly thirsty, that's all. Could I have some water? Would that be too much trouble?
Hell no. Tell you what I'll do. I'll get somebody to get you some water. I'll talk to the head waiter and cool off the spirits of ammonia. Incidentally, I'll pay the bill. And I'll order an Uber. Okay?
Fine.
Alright. Don't move. I'll be right back.